I'm Jennifer Snaz. You're watching News 24 Live. I'm joined in studio by my co-hosts Nick Pawson and Drusha Sukhtheorath. And it's Friday, so we're taking you through the top searched terms on Google. Hello.
Hello, Jennifer.
Afternoon, guys.
Nice
Ladies.
to see you again.
Hello.
All right, so we're talking about the top 5 search terms on Google this week. But Drusha, I think before we start, you have something to tell our audience.
It's been a bad week, and this happened to me. I'm very sad about it. And so I just want you to know that I didn't pick this up off the street. I broke my iPad.
Actually, before we get into the terms, I want to get Nick's opinion on this because I think she should just buy a new one instead of pay to get it fixed.
Well, last I heard, yeah, getting those fixed at the iStore. What's the i?
I phoned yesterday, and they want the iFix, iRepair.
iFix or iSome, yeah.
It's called the iStore.
Well,
No, it's not. It's like iFix. I don't know.
They want
I'm not a pro, but apparently it
1,200.
sounds like it makes more sense just to buy a new one.
No, man, you guys are crazy. It's going to cost 1,200 rand to fix.
Yeah, but you could just buy a new one.
Not for 1,200 rand.
Not for 1,200 rand, but you'll get an updated version.
Should I buy a new iPad or get this piece of junk fixed? Comment section below, please.
There you go. Okay, first topic. Nick, Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
I also say Real Madrid.
Is it Real Madrid?
It's Real Madrid.
Do you say Real Madrid or Real Madrid? Let us know in the comment section below.
So, if you're Spanish, I guess, yeah. So, yeah, it's the UEFA Champions League semi-finals first leg, and Real Madrid went down to Juventus 2-1 in Italy. The return leg is next week. So, yeah, down to the business end of the Champions League, probably the most watched tournament in the world, and so obviously that was right up there with the Google search terms.
Are you
this
going to
week.
watch Drush? No, me neither. I think you have to update us.
All right.
Now, Nick, be honest with us. It really feels like there's football every weekend. Does this just happen year-round? There's always something going on football-wise.
Well, if it's not happening in Europe, that there's inevitably something going on down here. Yeah, because the seasons are different, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, I see it as a good thing.
Yeah.
Rugby is pretty much going that way too.
Don't I know
The
it.
season is longer and longer.
At least
so
rugby's more interesting to watch than football.
well, it's all
Ooh.
relative, I guess. You know, I'm sure a lot of people around here wouldn't agree with that. So
Well, we all
it's
know hockey
definitely
is the
the
most
biggest.
interesting.
Football is without a doubt the biggest game
And when
worldwide.
she says hockey, she means ice hockey.
Yes, I know.
It's a pretty rad sport, guys. Get on the bandwagon.
All right, Canada.
We just need some ice first. But,
All right, Jerusha, moving on over to you now. Load shedding. Again, it seems like we can't get away from load shedding on this show and in our lives. So what are the latest updates there?
Well, we know that Public Enterprises Minister Lynn Brown said that if we don't want wide-scale blackouts, we're going to have load shedding. And of course, we know that there's an acting CEO at Eskom, and EWN reported this week that he's not cutting back budgets for catering for Eskom staff. He's saying that staff still need to eat, they need to function, they can't be punished for load shedding. Lots of people saying that that's not the right decision. And when it comes to load shedding, it seems that there is no end in sight. I'm sorry.
well, we know it's going to be part of our lives for at least the next 2 years.
Yeah.
But there has been a sort of period of, you know, dare I say it, no load shedding, and everybody was kind of like.
Yeah, but it picked up again this week.
But yeah, now we're back to reality. But there's also, I heard that there have been a couple of cases this week of Eskom announcing that there will be load shedding and there wasn't, and vice versa. So there's been a bit of frustration around that. I think it's just
Absolutely.
people have accepted that there's load shedding, but just can you communicate that and stick to your schedules?
I think the real frustration that we saw this week actually was the protests in Soweto. So a part of Soweto owes 4 billion rand in electricity money that hasn't been paid. Eskom have decided the only way to recoup those costs or to avoid it going forward is prepaid electricity meters. So obviously, if you don't buy your electricity upfront,
Right.
you get cut out. But there were huge protests in Orlando West. People were just saying it's unfair and they don't want that. Honestly, though, I'm not quite sure what else Eskom can do to get their money.
Or have a nice headlamp. I use it for load shedding now.
Sexy.
It works. All right, Sharish. Now going on to the Jade Panayotu. Am I saying that right?
Panayitu.
Panayitu murder case. What are the recent updates there?
So last time we spoke about it, we didn't
know
realize that her husband
what
was
happened.
involved. Yeah, it was just a Port Elizabeth teacher who'd gone missing. The community was up in arms, understandably. And now we know that her husband's been fingered for her murder. He's been arrested along with 2 others. His lawyer has confirmed to News 24 he's going to be applying for bail. News 24 also reported that he was on suicide watch, and people were really worried that he was going to harm himself. But his lawyer says that's not necessary. He won't harm himself. If he gets bail, he'll cooperate. But many people, especially in the Port Elizabeth area, are calling for him not to be given bail. They want him in, I suppose, a cell, really, with other people awaiting trial until next month, the 19th of June, when he's set to appear in court again.
But how has he been implicated? I mean, what proof have they got that he, or whatever
What would his motive be,
evidence
right?
is there at this stage that he was involved? Is this another sort of Devani type case?
At this point, we really don't know. There have been no court proceedings. We don't know what the defense are going to argue, and we certainly don't know what the state have got against him. All we know at this stage is that he's been arrested. Of course, there's speculations, but I think it would probably be irresponsible of us to try and say that one thing happened now when we don't even know if it's the truth.
All right, well, it'll be interesting to see how that case unfolds. Now, moving on to the Met Gala. This was the 2nd most searched term on Google this week.
And I asked you this week what it was.
Yeah,
It was
Nick
the
didn't know what
funniest-
the Met Gala was.
Oh, it was so funny. Nick turned around. What did he say to you?
He said something like,
I
Jen,
said,
what's this Met
what
Gala?
the beep is the Met Gala.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so old.
Apologies for my ignorance. Now I know, and I won't forget it.
Well, the theme of this year's Met Gala was China look through the looking glass. China through the looking glass. So the celebrities, the Hollywood celebrities, of course, were wearing outfits that were inspired by China. And I have to say, a lot of them were really off point.
You and I disagree on this. You really dislike what Beyonce and her sister Solange wore. I loved it.
Okay, Solange looked like she was wearing a black hole. Like, she could have been the galaxy, and the black hole was here, and Beyonce just looked naked.
Well, okay, firstly, if I had a body like Beyonce, you know, go for it, girl. Secondly, the Met Gala is about high fashion, and Solange was on point.
I don't agree. She looked like a black hole. That's not high fashion.
Nick,
That's
what did you think of the fashion?
Oh, do I have to have an opinion? I saw a funny little meme this week of
Rihanna's dress. No.
yeah, well, I saw a couple of those inadvertently, but porn stars at a Porn Stars Awards, sort of.
I saw this also.
The Oscars
yeah.
for porn stars, and then this Met Gala, and they were more conservatively dressed than the women at the Met Gala. It was just a bit of irony.
But I think, as a lot of people pointed out on social media, your industry doesn't dictate what you should wear. So, you know, if the women who work in the porn industry want to wear ball gowns, that's their prerogative, just as it's the prerogative of the women who are in fashion, music, lifestyle.
Something just clicked for
nothing.
me. I didn't understand why Beyonce, Kim, and J-Lo were wearing those see-through gowns, but now I realize it's because it was through the looking glass.
No.
Was it? I don't know. That's
don't
what clicked
know.
in my head.
The Battle
I'm
of
not
the
sure.
Booty. Oh, nice.
What? All right, moving
Okay,
on.
moving
to the
on.
next one. This is getting out of control. FMB was a search term this week as it was reported that sources have revealed that FNB is planning to launch a mobile virtual network operator, also known as an MVNO. So they would basically be launching FNB SIM cards that you can pop into your phone, and there would be some kind of mobile banking capabilities to go along with your airtime. So from what I understand, they can partner up with one of the major telecom providers, buy airtime, data, etc. at wholesale, and then offer it to FMB customers. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out for them.
I'm so interested to see how that works out.
FNB do seem to be at the forefront of a lot of this technology,
Especially with mobile banking. I mean, their app is phenomenal. Not to give FMB a punt, but I love you. It's really easy to use. It's top notch.
Cool.
Look, as long as FNB keeps giving me e-bucks, I'm happy.
I love e-bucks. Have you spent your e-bucks?
They do have ridiculous bank charges, though.
That's
Just
true.
gotta put that out there.
Their bank charges are higher than some other banks. But speaking of spending money, be they e-bucks or not, have you sorted out your Mother's Day present?
Ooh, I haven't, but I made a cake today.
Good job.
A Mother's Day cake. There's a really great initiative. They're making 200 cakes and giving it to mother's an old age home,
that's
so I was
lovely.
there helping. But I haven't sent anything from my mom. I'm probably going to send her flowers. What about you?
Probably the same. Nick?
Yeah, I need to think of something. My mother doesn't live here, so yeah.
My mother also
Hopefully
doesn't live here, so
something,
Nor does
flowers.
mine.
an e-voucher of sorts, I don't know.
iTunes.
No, she's not quite there yet, so.
Well, there you have it, your top 5 searched terms on Google for the week. Let us know what you were searching on Google in the comments section below this video, and we'll see you on Monday.